The dual tier adjustable quilting table is designed to house any home sewing and embroidery machine on the market. As you can see, I have my large sewing machine and / embroidery machine set up on my dual tier adjustable quilting table. Both of the tables have a control panel for you to raise and lower to the correct height, depending on what sewing machine you choose to put in the top table, the cutout, and it sits on the bottom table. So whichever sewing machine you choose to put in there, you adjust the top table and the bottom table to the height that you need. The bottom table you will adjust to the height where you are most comfortable sitting and sewing. The top table you adjust to fit around the sewing machine. It will nest right up to your sewing machine. Now you have your choice. If you do not have an extended table like I have on mine, and you just have your regular sewing machine base, that's just the sewing machine, that's without the extended table, it will also fit that. Now when you sit your sewing machine on the lower table, you will either pull the top table towards the sewing machine or towards you to fit nicely, nice and snug, or you will push it back depending on the size of your extended table or your home sewing machine's base. So now let's talk about these controllers that you can see on the left hand side. There are 3 memory settings for you to use because maybe you like to sit in a different chair, or maybe you have a friend that comes over. You can have the controller memorize that setting. But let's talk about how to operate them. As you can see, there are up and down arrows on both of the controllers, and that's where you are going to adjust. When you are adjusting, you will watch where the tables are going and make sure that there's nothing underneath the tables, or excuse me, under or between the 2 tables that will impede its raising and lowering. You don't want to cause it to go off balance or not level, or you don't want to crush anything that might be under there, because it's going to continue moving when you use those arrows. So like I said before, the tables are on locking casters, so they're easily moved. You can sit in your chair and move them forward or backward. It's so easy. I've been moving it around my sewing room so that I can find the best spot for it today, and I've had a lot of fun doing that. So as you can see, I have my adjustable table, or excuse me, my extended table sitting on my sewing machine. So I'm going to pause the video for just a second, and I'm going to put my embroidery arm on, and I'm going to show you how that operates. Before I change out the extended table to the embroidery arm, let's adjust the table quickly so that you can see how it works. And I'm going to use the top table controller right here, and I'm going to raise it. See how quiet that is and how easily it elevated? Now we're going to go back down because I want the top table to be flush with my extended table. One more. There we go. And now it's flush, and now your quilt can't get caught on anything. Okay, now let's switch out to the embroidery arm. Okay, so I have my embroidery machine on. I had to turn my sewing machine off in order to put my embroidery machine or embroidery arm on my sewing machine. So let's get my machine turned on. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to touch my screen, and the machine is going to recognize that the embroidery arm is on. Now it's telling me that the carriage of the embroidery unit will move. Keep your hands, etc., away from the cartridge. I promise, or not cartridge, the carriage. I promise I will. But I want you to watch the arm right here because it's going to move. And notice I have the top table still attached, but I did lower it before I placed the embroidery arm on the machine because I didn't want to bump anything. So here we go. It's going to move. Okay, so how you do this is that you leave a gap, and I'm going to put my hand back there so that you can see. You leave a gap back here about 1.5 inches so that the embroidery arm can move freely back and forth. The hoop will not touch the top table. It will not, nothing will interfere with the top table. So if I would like, I could move the table up a little higher, maybe just a little bit, but I don't need to. It's set up now and it's ready to go. So like I said, the dual tier adjustable quilting table fits any home sewing machine on the market. Now my machine has a pretty big base. It's sitting right on the edge, and I could move it in about 1/2 inch more if I needed, but I don't need it. The tables can support the weight with no problem whatsoever. Classy Creations that is the name of the website, Classy Creations, and I promise you, they're very easy to assemble. Don't forget that any home sewing machine can fit on this table. You can have your friends sewing on this table when they come over, or you can have your embroidery machine running while you're piecing on another machine, or maybe you have a long arm. Maybe you want to run the embroidery machine while you're long arm quilting. You can even put your serger on this table, and your serger will fit right in there. Wouldn't that be nice to have your serger and the extra amount of table? That's 15 inches to the left to capture or to hold your garment maybe that you're sewing, or maybe you're putting borders on a quilt, whatever. The dual tier adjustable quilting table fits all. You can find it at classycreation.com, and I'm Nancy McNally. Have a wonderful day. Happy quilting, happy sewing.